Hello everyone, myself Deepa Singh, working as assistant professor in Gyan Vihar School of Pharmacy, SGVU. Today we continue our next topic, that is two-compartmental model and approach for pharmacokinetic determination. In this, we cover different pharmacokinetic model which is required for multi-compartmental model, including introduction part and approaches for determining this pharmacokinetic model for two-compartmental. In previous lecture, we already covered two-compartmental model, including IV infusion, IV bolus, and extravascular administration. So we just discover, check the approaches of this two-compartmental model or different derivative, including introduction part of two-compartmental model, why this compartmental model is important, and how we check these two-compartmental model and different parameters. So before starting this topic, you should know about some learning object of this lecture. So these are the learning object of this lecture. In this, you should know about introduction of two-compartmental model. Means what is two-compartmental model? Differentiation between one compartment and two-compartmental model. Next is method of residue for compartmental model. There's different method residue that are used for two-compartmental model. And next is different parameter of a two-compartmental model. So in this lecture, these are the content. In this introduction part, compartmental model, two-compartmental model, that is IV bolus, method of residue, parameter of a two-compartment, intravenous infusion, and clinical application of this two-compartmental model. So definition part of pharmacokinetic of drug. And definition part, kinesis means motion, and change of rate of pharmacokinetic is a study of a kinetic. Means in this, pharmacokinetic is nothing but the change of rate of the drug. In this, we study the different kinetics of absorption, distribution, including changes at different stages. So in this pharmacokinetic, we check the absorption, distribution, metabolism, and excretion of your drug and their corresponding pharmacological, therapeutic, and toxic response in man as well as animal. Means we just compare these response in a certain pharmacological response with animal model and human model, both having a similarity or not. And in this pharmacological and therapeutic and toxic response, we check not only therapeutic response, but some toxic effect. We have also compared it's severe or not, or how much toxic effect are observed by that particular drug. So these are the definition of pharmacokinetic, the study of ADMA drug, including pharmacological, therapeutic, and toxic response in human as well as animals. Next is compartmental model. So in this multi-compartmental model, we can say that compartmental model are the classical pharmacokinetic model that simulates the kinetic process. Means these compartmental model are the classical pharmacokinetic model which give the kinetics or results or information about the process of absorption, distribution, and elimination. Elimination included excretion and metabolism both, and little physiological details also. In this physiological system is described by decomposition into the number of interacting substrate borders compartment, means how much number of that particular compartment is interacting. In multi-compartment or two-compartment, maybe two or more than two compartments. So in this, we check that how much compartment is interacting or how much substance are interacting for this compartment. Next is mass of well-mixed homogeneous material. Means we also check that complete material are homogeneous or mass of mixed homogeneous material. Next is behaves uniformly. Means there's uniformity of behavior also. It behaves very uniformly as well as exchange material. The exchange material is also, we have to check in this multi-compartmental model. And this open and closed model. So in open model, administered drug dose is eliminated from body by respiratory mechanism. Means the open model is mainly you check that administration, how the drug is eliminated out from your body, or excretion or eliminated rate of your drug through your body. And closed model is a drug dose is not eliminated from the body. Means we just considering the complete dose or entire dose in your body. It's not eliminated from your body or it remains in your body. So this is a closed model. In two-compartmental model, many drugs given in a single IV dose demonstrate as plasma level time curve that does not decline in single exponential process. And in two compartmental model drug, the plasma drug concentration decline by exponentially and the sum of first order process, that is distribution and donation. Means in this we can say that the multi-compartment is mainly show the bi-exponential reaction, and this bi-exponential is observed. In single compartment, this bi-exponential is not observed, and this distribution and elimination both are considered and does not equilibrate throughout the body. Next is drug distribution in two compartment, that is central compartment, and tissue, that is peripheral compartment. Peripheral compartment is also known as tissue compartment. In two compartmental model, these are the two compartments that involved for the transfer of a drug, that is central and peripheral. Next is central compartment. Central compartment represent the blood, extracellular fluid, and highly perfused tissue, and drug distributed rapidly and uniformly. So in two compartmental model, first model is a central compartment, and the central compartment is included mainly highly perfused tissue, organ, or extracellular fluid. And in this we covered that we can say that your drug distributed out rapidly, plus uniformly in a fast rate. Next is tissue or peripheral compartment. That is another one compartment. Tissue and peripheral compartment both are same. And in this tissue in which drug is secreted more slowly, it's just opposite to central compartment. And this drug distribution takes place very slow rate, and low perfusion tissue and organs are present in peripheral compartment. So in drug transfer between the two compartments is assumed to take place by first order process. Means in peripheral compartment, process is mainly observed by first order reaction of first order process in peripheral compartment. Next is blood supply and tissue group. According to blood supply, and this first one is highly supply perfused drug. So in this part is heart, brain, hepatic portal vein, kidney, endocrine gland, skin, muscles, adipose tissue, and marrow. So these are the highly perfused organ that comes in central compartment, where the high perfusion or drug distribution takes place too fast. And second is slow perfused tissue and organ. This is comes under the peripheral compartment. In this bone, ligaments, tendons, cartilage, teeth, and hair. These are the parts where the slow perfusion organs are included, and the drug is passed at slow rate compared to the central compartment. And this is a graph that shows the time after the dose and log plasma concentration. So in this graph that decline. So this is a distribution phase, and this one is an elimination phase. The drug is given by IV bolus route or by the IV route. So this is a graph which shows the distribution as well as elimination phase. Elimination is the excretion and metabolism, both phases are included in this graph. And we are plotting time versus log concentration. Next is model of a two compartment system. In this, they differ in whether the drug elimination occur in the central compartment, that is model 1, and the peripheral compartment is model 2, or both, that is model 3. Means if both model 1 and 2 are involved, then we can say that it's a model 3 in this both model 1 and 2, that is central and peripheral, are involved. So these are the three types where the elimination can occur, maybe from central compartment only, maybe from peripheral compartment only, or by both central as well as peripheral compartment. First one is model 1, that is elimination comes from central compartment. In this, major site of drug elimination occur in organs such as kidney, liver, and in this highly perfused blood and tissues are included. And model 2 is drug is assumed to follow the first order kinetics. Yes, in this we are considering that your model should be in a first order reaction or first order kinetics in the model 2 or peripheral compartment. And model 1 is your drug is eliminated out from central compartment, which is highly perfused. Liver and kidney types of the parts are involved. In two compartmental open model, these are the three types of the model. Model A, Model B, Model C. Only the elimination process gets changed in all the three models. In central compartment to peripheral compartment, drug passes from central to peripheral and come back to central compartment for reabsorption, or maybe get eliminated out from only central compartment. This is a model 1. Excuse me. And model 2 is drug is passes from central to peripheral compartment. And it again come back to central compartment only for absorption, reabsorption, but not get eliminated out. In this, drug is eliminated out through only peripheral compartment, not through central compartment. This only peripheral compartment is involved in model B, and model A is only central compartment is involved. And in this model C, whether central to peripheral compartment, and it again come back for central compartment for reabsorption. And in this, elimination takes place from both central as well as peripheral compartment, where the drug is eliminated out from central as well as peripheral compartment. In this, oral and intravenous administration comparison between both oral and IV route. So in this, when drug is administration, this is concentration by both oral and IV route and get eliminated out by oral route. And this is a passage of central to peripheral compartment, where the constant concentration in central as well as peripheral compartment is received, and elimination from only central compartment. Next is rate constant. So in this rate constant, K12 and K21 represent the first order rate transfer constant for movement of a drug from one compartment to second compartment, that is K1. This is a symbol that we represent when drug is passes from central to peripheral compartment. If drug is passes from central to peripheral, then we represent K12 to 21. And if it's come back, then we just say that opposite, K21 to 12. And these movement of a drug compartment 1 to 2 compartment, that is K12, and the from compartment 2 to 1 is K21. So it's just opposite to second compartment. Next is curve of the two compartmental model. So in this curve of two compartmental model, we are taking the blood sampling method, analyzing of a drug content. So with the help of blood sample, we check that how much drug present in your blood. Or with the help of blood sample, we check concentration of a drug present in your blood, as well as analyze for a drug content. Means you can also analyze how much drug present or how much drug content present in your blood circulation or in your plasma. So analyze drug content also, and blood sampling, how much drug present in your blood. Next is distributive phase. When the drug is diffused into the peripheral compartment till equilibrium is attained. Means in distributive phase, the drug that diffuses or passes from peripheral compartment, and till complete drug is reaches to equilibrium condition, or complete drug is passes to peripheral compartment. This process is continuously taking. And next is elimination phase, where the metabolism and excretion we have to check, and how much drug is eliminated out that particular amount or particular route. So this is a curve of two compartmental model. And this is a curve, time versus log plasma concentration, that we are plotting. And in this log is equals to minus alpha divided by 2.303, and this slope gives this value, and this slope gives minus beta divided by 2.303, and this is the total amount of A and B concentration, and graph is time versus log plasma concentration. Next is basic assumption that T is equals to 0, means we are considering that time is 0, or time required is mainly 0 amount. And this after IV dose, the level of the first increase reach maximum and decline. Means when we administer the drug or given the particular drug by IV route, and in this condition increases the concentration, and this concentration of drug reaches until it reaches to maximum concentration, and at particular point it get decline, and this decline point is known as Tmax, or maximum time required for showing the concentration or peak concentration. At particular peak concentration, the drug get decline or slow down. Next is distribution equilibrium, means how much drug is distributed out at particular phase. Biphasic exponential equation. So this biphasic exponential equation is the value of micro constant, cannot be determined by direct method or graphical method is used. Means these by exponential reaction or micro constant we do not determine directly. There is some graph or a graphical method is required for determination of this by exponential reaction. So in this reaction, we get this reaction A plus B is equals to K12 plus K21 plus K. And when we convert it to biphasic equation, so this will be Cp is equals to AE minus alpha t plus BE minus beta t, and A is equals to D, A minus K21 divided by BP, A minus B, and it's a ratio division BD, B is equals to D, K21 minus B divided by BP, A minus B. So this is the equation for biphasic exponential reaction. Next is method of residue. So in this method of residue, useful procedure for fitting curve to the experimental data of the drug. And drug does not clearly follow one compartmental model. Means we are checking the curve method or check which method is fitting for that particular concentration or drug concentration for transferring of one compartment model to another compartment. And this is not clearly understood. In this, some problem or some errors are occurred. In this IV administration of the drug as well as blood sampling, assay data is obtained and plotted on semi-graph paper. Curve line is obtained. So this method of residue is mainly received with the help of this parameter. Means after IV administration, we take the blood sample and check that how much drug present in your blood sample. And assay procedure means how much concentration of drug present in your blood sample. And next is data is obtained and plotted on semi-log graph paper. Curve line is obtained. So in this, with the help of these data, we are plotting one graph or semi-log graph. And with the help of this graph, the one curve line is obtained. Next is curve line relationship between the log of the plasma concentration and time indicate the drug is distributed in more than one compartment. Means if curve line is showing log form or plasma curve line, then we can say that your drug concentration is more than one compartment or more than one compartment are involved for drug distribution or showing the effect. And in this, we are plotting the graph. In this graph, we are plotting the plasma drug concentration versus time, is how much time is required for showing the particular effect in your body or how much drug present in your plasma concentration. So from the data of Y exponential equation is derived from, this is the equation for Y exponential if drug is passes from multi-compartment. And in this CP is equals to E minus alpha T plus BE minus BT. And in this graph, when we plot, it gives time versus plasma concentration in mg per liter, means how much mg drug present in liter, and versus R in time. So in this plot, this is a residual and this is a C plate or concentration of that particular drug in plasma. Next is half-life. So in this half-life, T half is equal to 0.693 divided by V. This is the value for half-life of your drug. And in this form B, regression from the line terminal exponential divided by B phase is extrapolated to pi axis. And by intercept is equals to V. Next is residual value. How to calculate residual value? So in this residual value is from the extrapolated line or then subtracted from original experimental value. Means you just compare some reference value or original reference value and check that these reference value with received or extrapolated line or value that you get from that particular drug. And in this residual plasma concentration is also obtained. You check that how much drug plasma present in particular amount, and straight line is obtained. If it's just straight line, means you can say that drug having a good property and good residue time. Next is residual plasma concentration. Means residual plasma concentration is also received in residual value. Next is parameter of a two compartmental model. So these are the requirement or parameter which is required for this two compartmental model or multi-compartmental model. So in this, first is apparent volume of distribution. Apparent volume of distribution means how much drug is distributed out, or total volume of distribution distributed out at that particular drug. So in this apparent volume of distribution, we have to check. Next is drug clearance, means how much drug is get cleared out by elimination or metabolism, or how much drug is still present in your body. You check with the help of certain equation or with the help of certain method, drug clearance. Next is biological half-life, means how much time is required, how much biological time is required for that particular drug. Next is elimination rate constant, means clearance or elimination of a drug from your body. This is also be determined. And A uses the area under the curve. These values we have to determine into compartmental model. To check all these parameters into compartmental model. Apparent volume of distribution, this total volume of distribution, in each compartment, as well as drug clearance, biological half-life, elimination rate constant, and AUC. Next is apparent volume of distribution. It relates the plasma concentration amount of drug in the body. Means the apparent volume of distribution is mainly depend on amount of drug or how much drug present in your body. And drug with large extravascular distribution and apparent volume of distribution is largely. Means extravascular distribution means another route where the drug is distributed out. And if drug is distributed out in large and extravascular distribution, then we can say that apparent volume of distribution is large or more apparent volume of distribution is observed if drug is distributed out in extravascular distribution. Next is drug with peripheral tissue binding also have a large apparent volume of distribution. Means not only in extravascular side, but if a drug is bind or get distributed in a peripheral tissue, those who have a low perfusion rate, and in this condition, binding drug also have apparent volume is high or more apparent volume is observed. Next is for polar drug, apparent volume of distribution is small. Means polar nature drug show more, less apparent volume of distribution or less distribution of the drug. So in polar drug, this apparent volume of distribution is also less observed comparatively to a non-polar drug. And reflect the extent of drug distribution. How much drug is distributed out, we can easily check with the help of these values, and how much drug is available in your body for showing that particular effect with the help of apparent volume of distribution. In continuation, this apparent volume of distribution, we can say that several volume of distribution is calculated as volume of central compartment, means how much drug present in the central compartment, as well as apparent volume of distribution at a steady state, means how much drug is present in steady state during volume of distribution. Next is extrapolated volume of distribution, means how we plot this extrapolated volume of distribution, as well as volume of distribution by area, or how much drug at particular area volume got distributed out. Next is volume of central compartment, means how the drug is distributed out in central compartment according to volume, or how much volume is distributed out central compartment. So in this useful for determining drug concentration directly after IV injection into the body. The name itself say that we are determining drug concentration in highly perfused tissue and organ, that is central compartment. In this we check that how much drug concentration, how much drug is present after IV injection into your body. And next, this is also called as initial volume of distribution after administration of the drug into your body, and generally smaller than the terminal volume of distribution. This volume is generally observed as small terminal volume of distribution, or we can say the less terminal volume of distribution is observed in central compartment. These are in a highly perfused organ, and it can show more effect and more absorption property compared to peripheral compartment and any other compartment, and in this generally smaller than the terminal volume of distribution. And BP is the mass balance factor, and where the plasma concentration from AUC, that is area under the curve, we have to check. In this, B is equals to BP, CP in central as well as peripheral compartment or tissue compartment. BP is equals to D divided by E plus B, and BP is equals to D divided by A in bracket K in bracket AUC, constant area under the curve. Next is apparent volume of distribution at a steady state. So in this steady state, we check that how much drug is distributed out at particular amount in the steady state. So in this, rate of drug entry into the tissue compartment from central is equal to the rate of drug exits from tissue compartment into the central compartment. Means we have say that in this parameter, entry means input is equals to output of a drug, or how much drug is exit is equals to input. And this entry is mainly be calculated in central compartment, and rate of drug entry in tissue compartment or in the central compartment is equals to, means it's having the same concentration and equal amount of the concentration to the rate of extent and that exit from the tissue compartment, means how much drug is exit out or eliminated out to that particular tissue or that particular output compartment into central compartment, because the main compartment is your central compartment that is involved for your excretion and the exit of a drug from that particular tissue or from the central compartment. And when we see the equation, so in this apparent volume distribution, we give that dT K21 is equals to dT K12 where dt is equals to K12 dp divided by K21. dt is equals to K12 into Cp dp divided by K21, and dp is equals to Cp. dp means both in central as well as peripheral compartment. So this is the equation for volume of distribution in a steady state concentration. Now Vd is equals to, that is volume of distribution, as d into d divided by Cp in central compartment, where Vd is equals to, in the steady state, is volume of distribution in a steady state is equals to dt plus dp divided by Cp, and Vd in a steady state, volume of distribution in steady state, is equals to dp in bracket 1 plus K12 divided by K21, means from central to peripheral compartment. Just check that how much drug is transferred from one compartment to another compartment, or from central to peripheral compartment. Now volume of distribution in steady state is a function after the constant rate, and in K12 and K21, which represent the rate constant of a drug going into and out of the compartment, is how much drug is input and how much drug get out from your body or eliminated out from your body. We check the difference between total amount of drug input and output from your body, means how much drug is eliminated out, particular amount of a drug from your body, or how much drug concentration is available for showing the effect in your body. So in this K12 or K21, we check that input and output both having a constant amount or not, where the magnitude of volume of distribution is steady state is dependent on hemolytic factor for drug distribution, physical property of the drug. Next is extrapolated volume of distribution. So this extrapolated volume of distribution is calculated by Vd, or volume of distribution, that is d divided by Cp, and Vd is exponential form is equals to d divided by b, and b is equals to d, where the K21 minus b divided by bp a minus b, and volume of distribution exponential form is receive this equation, bp is equals to a minus b divided by K21 minus b. And the equation show that change in the distribution of a drug which observe a change in the value of BP, means BP value is changed, and in this condition distribution of that particular drug is also changed, and equation we get different for distribution of a drug, and in this reflect change in volume of distribution, that is VD in exponential form. Next is volume of distribution according to area, or volume of distribution in that particular area. So in this, reduced drug clearance from the body may increase AUC, such as volume in peripheral compartment is either reduced or unchanged depending on the value of V. Means drug is eliminated out or cleared out from your body, then in this condition the concentration of clearance is reduced or maybe increased from that particular area of concentration or area under the curve, and such the value is the VP and either reduced or unchanged form. And these reduced and unchanged form is mainly depending on the value of V. These values indicate that it is reduced condition or unchanged condition. So this is the equation for this. Vp beta is equals to Vd area is equals to DO divided by the AUC infinity. And when we calculate the clearance, so in this condition DO divided by AUC infinity, and we just and replace this equation or modify this equation, then we get volume of distribution beta is equals to CL divided by B, and Vd is beta is equals to constant K Vd divided by V, because we already say that the change or unchanged and reduced form is mainly depend on V value. So we can also write down constant amount of volume distribution divided by V. So this is the volume of distribution for beta. Next is significance of volume of distribution. So in significance of volume of distribution is affected by change in overall elimination rate and by change in total body clearance of the drug. Overall elimination from your drug means how much drug is eliminated out from particular route or particular tissue. Overall route and tissue we are considering, and by change in the total body clearance means how much drug is cleared out from your body or from entire body. And useful calculation of the clearance is like Bd exponential is more than Bd beta is more than Bp. And in this change in disease state may result in different pharmacokinetic parameter. means if a person is suffering or he or she may be suffering any disease, then in this condition, pharmacokinetic parameter, or you can say that absorption and elimination is not similar to healthy patient. There may be certain chances of variation is observed, and particular effect is not similar to both healthy and diseased person, because that particular disease may affect the effect of drug may increase, decrease, or don't show insufficient effect or show more toxic effect. So concentration of that particular drug and disease condition or disease state may be vary, and that particular person don't receive required amount of effect to that drug. And in change in PK parameter should not lead to physiological change. Means if you are changing PK parameter, then these PK parameter do not change your physiological condition or physiological property of your drug. Next is drug in tissue compartment. So in this, we are checking that how much drug present in that particular tissue or particular compartment. So in this, apparent volume of distribution is conceptual volume only, does not represent the true anatomical volume. And in this, Vt is equals to Vpk12 divided by K21, where the dt is equals to K12 dt, bracket close, in bracket E minus Vt minus E alpha t in bracket divided by E minus V. Next is drug clearance. So in this, drug clearance is the volume of plasma that is cleared of a drug per unit time. Means how much drug is cleared to that particular plasma or clearance amount of a drug in volume of distribution. So this clearance is equals to Vd into B. Where the useful determining average drug concentration we have to check, or how much drug is eliminated out from that particular amount that we have to check. Next is elimination rate constant. In this, according to elimination rate constant, we can say that elimination rate constant of central compartment and tissue compartment is both central as well as peripheral compartment are involved for elimination, because we already see in previous slide that elimination may be occur from only central compartment or maybe peripheral compartment or both. So in this, we are checking the constant rate of elimination, or how much elimination constant is from central as well as peripheral compartment in both compartment. Peripheral compartment is nothing but your tissue compartment. So in this, because of redistribution of a drug out of the tissue compartment, this is smaller than the K. And three rate constant are associated with two compartmental model. So in this, K21 is equals to AB plus BA divided by B plus A. And in this, K divided by K12 is equals to AB divided by K21, and K12 is equals to A plus B minus K21 minus K10. Next is biological half-life. So in this, we are checking the half-time or half-life of the drug. How much time is sufficient for showing half of the drug or half of biological life of that particular drug. So in this, biological half-life can be determined by the rate constant, that is K12 is equals to 0.693 divided by B. Next is area under the curve. In these two methods are involved for calculating the area under the curve, or we use two methods for determining the AUC value. Both methods are good, give the good results. So in this two method, first method is trapezoidal method, and second is by using equation. In trapezoidal method, we are using one graph. With the help of that graph, we check that area under the curve value. So in this trapezoidal method, we check that AUC time infinity is equals to C0 divided by KE. And by using the equation, we calculate that AUC total is equals to C0 divided by K10 is equals to AUC B divided by B plus E divided by A. So this is a using equation method, and trapezoidal means check with the help of graph. Next is intravenous administration into compartmental model drug. So this in IV infusion requires for distribution equilibrium of the drug from a stable blood vessel is reached. Hence, this is mainly used to check how much drug is distributed out in your blood or in the vessel, a stable concentration of a drug in particular amount of tissue. And in this distribution equilibrium also we have to check with the help of IV infusion. And next is constant drug concentration in tissue. In each and every tissue, how much drug is present or constant amount of drug present in tissue, we have to check this constant drug concentration. And no change in amount of drug tissue occur during the steady state. means no concentration exchange in particular tissue or in a steady state, so that we have to check how much drug or tissue amount of changes from a steady state also. Next is time needed to reach a steady state blood level depend on entirely on the distribution and half-life of the drug. Is how much time is required to reach the steady state concentration or blood level, and that is required for distribution of half-life of that particular drug. So in this, we have checked that how much drug concentration is required for steady state blood level. Next is equation describing the plasma drug concentration. So this one is the equation. Cp is equals to R divided by B, Pk. In bracket 1 minus K minus B divided by E minus K, bracket close, E minus alpha D minus E minus K divided by A minus B in bracket E minus Vt. And the steady state, it converted into CSS, that is concentration in steady state is equals to R divided by B Pk, and infusion rate is R is equals to CSS Pk. Next is loading dose for two compartmental model. So in this loading dose, we can say the drug with half-life or long half-life require a loading dose to move rapidly attain a steady state plasma drug concentration. This is mainly for those drugs who have a half-lives or long half-life is observed. And in this steady state, maybe take some more time or get rapidly distributed out. And rapid therapeutic drug level can be achieved by using the loading dose. And drug equilibrated slowly in extravascular tissue, and drug equilibrated is not immediate. Next is apparent volume of distribution at a steady state is equals to dkt21 is equals to dpk12, and dt is equals to 1 to dt divided by k21, and dt is equals to k21 cp vp divided by k21, and the concentration of drug in central compartment, the steady state is equals to volume distribution in steady state is equals to dp plus dt divided by cp. And this volume of distribution in the steady state equation Cp Pp plus K12 Bp Cp divided by K21 and divided by Cp, and volume of distribution in steady state is simplified equation is equals to Bp plus K12 divided by K21 Bp. Next is clinical application. So in this clinical application, this two compartmental model mainly used for hydromorphine studies, means hydromorphine type of the drug or hydromorphine studies are the accurate when two compartment model is used, and with the help of two compartmental model give more appropriate result of your drug or this study. Next is drug distribution of loperamide. So this loperamide drug distribution is also received with the help of two compartmental model or with the help of multi-compartmental model. So this two compartmental model is not only important for pharmacokinetic purpose, but also used for clinical purpose, and it will play important role in clinical purpose also for study of different types of the drug, or as well as distribution of the drug in your body, how that drug is distributed in your body. So this is a clinical application in the compartmental model. After completing this lecture on multiple compartment model, you should know about some learning outcomes. So these are the learning outcomes that you should know. So in this first introduction of the two compartmental model means what is two compartmental model and how these two compartmental model takes place, including different model, including model A, B, C, and how this ABC is involved. How the excretion takes place in both three model, central compartment, either peripheral compartment or both, and which parameter is required for two compartmental model, and different administration of a drug, and how to calculate these values with the help of IV infusion, extravascular or IV bolus, and derivative of this two compartmental model, as well as method of residue for two compartmental model. So in this, we also check that different residual method which is required for two compartmental model or this multi-compartmental model, as well as different parameter of two compartment, which parameter is required, including half-life, steady state, method of residue, kinetics, or different drug distribution, half-life. So all these parameters you should also know, and this multi-compartment study which parameter may should be and how. Next is clinical application of compartmental model, not only in pharmacy, but in clinical purpose, how we use this compartmental modeling for certain type of disease discovery or certain type of the drug or distribution of the drug. So you should also know about clinical application of this two compartmental model. These are the learning outcomes. Next is reference part. After this learning outcome, first reference is Sargent Leon at UVC, Applied Biopharmaceutics and Pharmacokinetics, 5th edition, published by McVitie Grohill. Next is Gibaldi M, Biopharmaceutics and Clinical Pharmacokinetics, 4th edition, published by Pharma Med Press. And next is Notary Robert E, Biopharmaceutics and Clinical Pharmacokinetics, 4th edition, published by Marcel Decker. So these are the references. All references are good for this topic. You can use any one of the reference or either combination of the reference. Next is the question part. These questions are similar for today's topic or based on today's topic, or you can say that multi-compartmental model. After completing this lecture, you can easily answer this question. So in this question part, first one is which of the following is not category of a two-compartmental model? I think we already complete whole topic or complete parameter of two-compartmental model. So you should answer this question. There's a 4 option. This is not category, or which option is not suitable for two-compartmental model. And out of 4 options, 3 options are correct and 1 option is incorrect. So in this you select which one is incorrect or not suitable for two-compartmental model. So in this option part, A option is two-compartmental model with elimination from the central compartment. B is the two-compartmental model with elimination from the peripheral compartment. C is the two-compartmental model with elimination from only plasma and blood. D is the two-compartmental model with elimination from both the compartment, that is central and peripheral. Out of this 4 options, you can select any one correct option which is not suitable or not correct for two-compartmental model. Next, second question, what is mean by elimination half-life? You should know about elimination. If you know about elimination, then you can easily answer the elimination half-life. And this is also depending on multi-compartment or two-compartmental model. We are also calculated these elimination half-life. So in this elimination half-life means which one option is correct for elimination half-life. And this A option is time taken for half of the amount drug to get completely eliminated out from body, only the organ. This is the time take for half of the amount of the drug to get completely eliminated out from the blood. Says the time take for half of the amount of the drug to get completely eliminated out from plasma. And this is the time take for half of the amount of drug to get completely eliminated out from the body as well as plasma. So in this, you check which one is correct for elimination half-life. Maybe half of the drug or get eliminated out only from organ or only from blood, or maybe get completely eliminated out from only plasma or body as well as plasma. So which one is correct? Next question is, what is the equation to find out the apparent volume of distribution, or which equation is suitable for calculating the apparent volume of distribution? These apparent volume of distribution we already checked. So out of this 4 options, answer easily which equation is appropriate or correct for apparent volume of distribution. So in this, A option is amount of drug in the body divided by plasma drug concentration, means it's a ratio of amount of drug in body as well as plasma drug concentration, or you can say that in B option, it's a ratio of plasma drug concentration divided by amount of drug in your body. Next in C option, 1 divided by plasma drug concentration, and D option is 1 divided by amount of drug in your body. So out of this 4 options, you can select any one correct option which is suitable for apparent volume of distribution, or which gives the correct definition of apparent volume of distribution. Next is, what is the equation to find out the hepatic clearance? So in this, hepatic clearance is nothing but the clearance of a drug from hepatic route or elimination of a drug. So this equation is also, you know, in this, there's a 4 option. Is the plasma drug concentration divided by rate of elimination by kidney. It's ratio of both plasma drug concentration as well as elimination rate through kidney. B is rate of elimination by kidney divided by plasma drug concentration. It's also a ratio. Next is 1 divided by rate of elimination by kidney, and D option is 1 divided by plasma drug concentration. So these are the 4 options. You can select which equation is suitable for hepatic clearance out of this 4 options. Next question is, which organ comprises the central compartment in two-compartmental model? It's a very simple question. In this, we already checked different organ and tissue involved in central as well as peripheral compartment. Which I give one hint. In central compartment, the highly perfused tissue and organs are involved. In peripheral, just opposite, slow perfused tissue and organ. So in this, both first and second question, you can easily answer this question because this topic is already covered in very detail. So in this first question, which organ comprises central compartment in two-compartmental model? because in one compartmental model, only one compartment is involved. There's not two compartments, central as well as peripheral. So out of this two compartment, there's four option which is having a two compartmental tissue or organ. And this A option is muscle, B is the skin, C is adipose, and D is the liver. Next question is which organ comprise peripheral compartment in two compartment model, just opposite to previous one. So in this we know about what is peripheral compartment, which tissue and organ involved. So in this A option is liver, B is lungs, C is kidney, and D is the muscle. These are the questions which is related to today's topic. After completing this lecture, you can easily answer these questions. These questions are very simple, related to multi-compartmental model or two compartmental model. So thank you so much for watching and listening to this video. Thank you, everyone.